Are you unknowingly destroying your car every time you park? Most drivers make this common steering mistake without realizing how much damage it's causing. In this video, we'll reveal why simply turning your steering wheel the wrong way could rack up thousands in repair costs, and how you can avoid it entirely. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. What if your car has been trying to warn you this whole time and you've been missing the signals? Power steering problems don't usually appear overnight. They start as subtle clues you might shrug off as unimportant. But those small signs can quickly snowball into serious issues, leaving you with repair bills that could ruin your budget. Let's talk about what these warning signs look like, so you can catch the problem before it gets costly. One of the most common and commonly overlooked clues is stiff or heavy steering. Imagine driving through a parking lot and suddenly feeling like you're wrestling with the wheel just to make a basic turn at low speeds. Stiff steering doesn't happen randomly. It often means your power steering system isn't giving you the support it's designed to, which could mean a failing pump or low fluid levels. Most people notice this when backing out of their driveways or turning into parking spaces, but dismiss it, chalking it up to just how their car feels. That's a huge mistake. Then there are the noises, those groaning, whining, or even squealing sounds when you turn your wheel, especially during tight maneuvers at low speeds. These sounds aren't just annoying background noise. They're your power steering's way of yelling for help. Unusual noises get louder as the problem worsens because worn-out parts like the pump are under more strain, or the fluid levels have dropped too low to keep things operating smoothly. One driver might even recall hearing a faint, high-pitched whine every time they parked. Weeks later, they ended up with a $600 repair bill for replacing a completely failed power steering pump. But it's not just steering stiffness or noise. Vibrations in the steering wheel are another symptom that's easy to dismiss at first. If your wheel feels shaky at slow speeds or shudders slightly when turning, you could be looking at a power steering pump issue or worn-out tie rods. Left unchecked, these vibrations can worsen, affecting the stability of your car and making it harder to maintain control. There's no good outcome if a vibrating steering wheel is ignored, especially since those vibrations are your vehicle's way of signaling stress in its steering components. So, why do these symptoms happen in the first place? Often, it comes down to worn-out or neglected components, like a pump that's been working past its limits or fluid that's no longer clean enough to do its job. Power steering systems rely heavily on fluid pressure to assist you with steering. Low levels due to leaks or fluid that's been contaminated over time can put extra pressure on crucial parts such as the steering rack. Over time, this stress can lead to much more extensive damage that affects not just your power steering, but also your car's suspension. And let's not forget the silent culprit of leaks. A puddle of red, pink, or amber fluid under your car could mean your power steering system isn't holding pressure properly anymore. That might not seem urgent if the car still drives fine, but low fluid levels cause hard steering and accelerate the wear on components like the pump, which could fail completely if ignored. To avoid all of this, start paying attention to early indicators now. Watch for erratic power assist when the steering effort suddenly feels different, and check for those fluid leaks under your car. If you even slightly suspect something's off, don't ignore it. When caught early, these issues are often simple and inexpensive to address. But there's something else you might be doing every day that speeds up this damage without realizing it. One habit in particular is putting more strain on your power steering than you ever thought possible. Stay tuned. A big reveal is coming next. Could a simple habit you don't even think twice about be silently wrecking your car? It sounds dramatic, but dry steering, turning the wheel while your car isn't moving, is an everyday mistake causing real damage to your vehicle over time. Most drivers have done it, turning the wheel back and forth to wiggle into a tight parking spot, cranking it in place to line up for a U-turn, or even making those final adjustments before parallel parking. But what feels like a harmless maneuver is actually one of the quickest ways to wear down critical parts of your car. Here's how it works. When you dry steer, Your front tires are forced to twist against the surface of the road without any forward momentum to help reduce resistance. Think of it like trying to drag a broom across a carpet without lifting the bristles. That extra friction makes the broom harder to move, and over time, it ruins the bristles. The same principle applies to your tires and steering system. That resistance puts unnatural strain on components that are designed to function best while the car is in motion. One major area of concern? Your tires. Constant dry steering grinds the tread of your front tires against the pavement, wearing them down significantly faster than normal use. The result is accelerated and uneven wear, meaning your tires may need replacing far sooner than you'd expect. And it's not just the tread. The sidewalls and even the rims can take a beating from the added pressure, especially if you're steering near curbs during parking maneuvers. While you might not notice this damage immediately, it adds up, cutting into the lifespan of your tires and increasing the chances of premature failure. But it's not just the tires that suffer. Dry steering also stresses your entire steering system, including the steering rack, tie rods, and pump. Components like the steering rack rely on fluid pressure for smooth operation. But when you repeatedly grind your tires without motion, the added resistance forces parts like tie rods and joints to work harder than they should. Over time, that stress can loosen connections, increase wear on moving parts, and eventually lead to outright failures. A steering rack replacement alone can cost upwards of $1,000, and tie rod repairs typically run between $100 and $300. These are expenses few drivers plan for, and even fewer know how easily they could have been avoided. Let's put it into perspective. Imagine lifting a heavy box. If you push it along a smooth path, the effort is manageable, but trying to shove it across a rough surface? That's how your steering system feels when you turn the wheel while stationary. It's fighting against the friction of the tires sticking to the road, and as the system works harder, it wears out faster. The effects might not happen overnight, but the long-term strain takes a toll that could leave you with a hefty repair bill down the road. And yet, this common mistake is so easy to avoid. The key is never turning the wheel while your car is completely stopped. Instead, let your vehicle roll slightly, just a few inches forward or backward, before making adjustments. That small movement reduces friction on the tires and allows parts like the tie rods and rack to work with less resistance. It's a simple habit, but it can make a huge difference in keeping your vehicle's steering system in top shape. Avoiding dry steering isn't just about extending the life of your tires or preventing steering rack failures. It's also about smoother, more controlled driving every time you get behind the wheel. By making this one adjustment, you're not just reducing wear and tear on your car, you're improving the way it feels to drive. No special tools, no expensive maintenance, just a bit of everyday awareness. In the next part of this video, we'll go even deeper. You've learned about what not to do, but what about the steps you can take to actively protect your car's power steering system? Stay tuned for a breakdown of practical preventative tips that can save you money and headaches for years to come. What if maintaining your power steering system could save you thousands over the life of your car? The good news is that you don't need to be a mechanic to take care of it. Simple, preventative maintenance can make all the difference in how long your system lasts and how well it functions. If you're not paying attention to fluid levels, hoses, and other key components, though, you could be setting yourself up for costly repairs later on. Here's a case that makes the risks clear. In one instance, a driver neglected to check their power steering fluid for years. Over time, it became contaminated with dirt and debris, which clogged the system and wore down the pump. Eventually, it failed entirely. The result? A $450 repair bill to replace the pump and flush the system. This is a perfect example of how skipping routine maintenance can lead to a financial headache that could have been avoided with just a little extra attention. It's not just about saving money, it's also about safety. A well-maintained power steering system improves your car's handling and responsiveness, making every drive smoother and more predictable. These small preventative steps take very little time but can pay off by preventing expensive repairs and keeping your car running safely for years to come. Your power steering system doesn't have to be a ticking time bomb. It's all in how you treat it. By recognizing the early signs, like unusual noises or stiff steering, and adopting better habits, You can save yourself from expensive repairs down the road. Take action today. If you notice anything unusual, don't wait. Schedule an inspection with a trusted mechanic to address issues before they escalate. Preventative care is simpler and far less costly than fixing major failures. By staying alert and proactive, you can keep your car running smoothly and your wallet intact. Start today and thank yourself later.